Bronco fans and football fans everywhere. Welcome to Broncos Buzz on the MHRT network. This is a show that is everything Broncos and brought to you with emotion, passion, honesty, and of course, our comments, Spence's, mine, and yours in the chat. We are Broncos Buzz. My co-host, KONA Spence. I am your host, Bronco Bill. All right, guys, before we get into the show, go ahead, KONA, and explain the subtopic underneath your name. Or not sub. Yeah, explain that, would you please?
So my house's nickname is Casa de la Chaos because we've got kids running in and out of the house. We got friends running in and out of the house. Our home is an open door, so we don't mind people coming in, but it's just one person okay, two people okay. Right now I've got my two kids, neighbor two kids, another neighbor two kids, my wife's friend and her daughter are here. So Casa de la Chaos.
Hey, you're going to have to give me your address so I can just pop in whenever. You just have to.
Everybody's welcome, just not everybody.
Wait a minute. Remember, we're live and this goes all across where. So you said everybody's welcome. I would kind of put the brakes on that a little bit. All of a sudden, you got like 500 cars pulling up to your place.
Yeah.
Crazy.
We've got enough stuff in the fridge.
Hey, as long as they bring the beer, right?
Yeah, that's a requirement. Got to bring KONA, the best tasting beer on the market. Brewed without any corn syrup or cornstarch. Got to try it. Big Way, only 4.2% alcohol per can.
Brought to you by. Anyways, so before we get into the topics, and boy, we're going to go a lot of different directions. It's going to be heated topics. It's going to be emotionally generated by myself. And I know you guys will follow suit. Also, I just want to thank each and every one of you for watching, for participating in the chat. We love your comments. We bring your comments up as long as they're, decent. And we'll bring them up. We'll talk about your subject. We can go any direction you guys want to go. This is not our show. It's your show. It's what we bring to you guys. So we want you to enjoy. Avalanche, I'm wearing that hat. I'll get into that topic a little later. Cubs jersey I'm wearing for two reasons. One, the Chicago Cubs are playing the hated Milwaukee Brewers, of which we stole their manager, Craig Counsell, and we're in first place. So I love that. They're playing as we speak. They start at 5. The other reason, Chris Bryant, who I have this jersey, and Spence can allude to. I'll prove it right here.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Bryant.
Looks good.
Was a World Series champion for the Chicago Cubs in 2016. He has completed his 10 years. So now he can, how does that work, KONA?
Once you've finished 10 full seasons, you qualify for retirement. You know how we get a pension. There's something that comes through professional baseball, professional football. I don't know if basketball has it, but I know football and baseball do have a pension.
Yeah, I wondered that because they said it was a big deal, and I thought, wow, that's pretty cool, man. But I didn't know why. I don't know that kind of stuff behind there. But what I really like is that, he finished it after the 2015 season, but he had to, I think, complete the first month of April or first month of baseball, which is April. So. And I got a story about April and baseball coming up. Oh, my God. I got a story about that one. Hey, in the chat, Victory Lap says, yo. Say, what's up, VCIC, as in capitals.
Yo.
All right. Okay, so let's get into the show. It's going to be, like I said, many different directions. Spence, if you have any topics, throw them out. Anytime you feel inclined, it's all good. Last week, we had a very emotional topic regarding one of my favorite Bronco players of all time, Shannon Sharpe. Here is a follow-up, more negative stuff. more things coming out. Can it get any worse for this guy?
Yes.
Yes, it really can. Here we go. Shannon Sharp's reputation hasn't gotten any better. A video allegedly depicting non-consensual activity, I'm not getting into specifics, was presented to Sharp to view. They wanted to say, is this you? Is this legit? Is this true? Listen to this. They presented it to Sharp to view, of which he has refused multiple times. Sharp said, and I quote, the video, no, if he doesn't want to watch it, how long does he know it is? Sharp said, and I quote, I'm quoting him. Look it up, guys. The video is a 30-second clip designed to make me look guilty, end quote. How in heaven's name he know how long it is or what it is if he hasn't watched it or he wasn't there? Come on, Spence, what do you think?
I just think this is going to get uglier by the moment because every day I had, just before we came on the air, I had heard about a potential video last week and had mentioned that in our discussion. Shannon Sharp is in very big trouble, not just from a civic aspect of potential lawsuits and everything like that, but criminal activity. Boy, and I do know someone who at ESPN who has told me that the lawyers there are aggressively working through the contract to put themselves in a safe position.
Now, wait a minute, let me ask you this. Since you have some inside information, and you, please don't reveal it, but no. That being said, could ESPN be liable
for
some type of monetary because they have him because he's still employed?
The only liability ESPN would have if it was ESPN conducted activities where he committed any kind of acts.
Okay.
So apparently not, but I don't know any further information. And anytime something like this comes out and you're representing a big organization, big firm, the lawyers are, I work in contracting, so I read contracts every day. My mind is going like this right now because I had to read a major contract
you
today.
Because you got Casa de la Chaos. That's why your mind is going like this.
Casa de la, I need more beer. But what happens is an organization goes and reviews all their articles of incorporation, all of their contracts, all of their liability to protect their position first. Then they review any kind of agreements they have with any kind of stars. Like a lot of these broadcasters do have their own contracts with their own, how do you appropriate behavior clauses and everything like that. So really, ESPN is, I'm not going to be shocked or surprised when ESPN comes out and say they've terminated the contract of Shannon Sharp. It's going to happen, but they just have to make sure they put all their ducks in line, cross their T's, dot their I's, make sure they're on top of everything. But this is going to get uglier by the moment. And,
absolutely,
you know, Shannon Sharp, great player, but if you've ever watched his show, he comes across rather arrogant. And that's why I watched his show when he was on Fox. Yeah, watched his show on Fox a few times and just couldn't stand his approach. Knowledgeable, but just this arrogant attitude. And unfortunately, who knows? That may be how his personal life is. A lot more things are going to come out. This is going to get uglier by the moment. I just wait and see, but I don't see a positive end to this for Shannon Sharp at all.
Yeah. Before I get to the comment real quick, I kept it up there because it's awesome that he says that. Before I get to that, though, the reason why I keep bringing up Shannon Sharp is because it's relevant. It's in the news. It's a former Bronco player. I hate bringing it. I hate doing it. It hurts me greatly because you see a player on the field who is so focused, so into the game and championships and all of that. And he goes to ball. He tells his brother, I'll bring it back up, David. Hang on. He tells his brother, he goes, "Hey, Sterling, you deserve this ring. I'll go get another one." Sterling said to Shannon Sharpe, "Brother, bro, how do you know? How do you know you're getting another ring?" He says, "It doesn't matter. I want you to have it," because Sterling Sharpe never made it to a Super Bowl, never won a Super Bowl. So when Shannon Sharpe offers that tells me the humble side of him. Then I see this ugly side. It boggles my mind that those two things could be in the same person. It really does. I mean, Spence, help me out. Seriously. Is it the hits to the head? Is it CTE? Is it anything like that? I mean, we saw it in Junior Seau when he took his own life. I mean, I don't know. I'm not trying to put words or tragedy or something in someone's head, but I'm trying to figure out how somebody can be so generous to his brother and so aggressive to females. It just doesn't make sense to me. It does. I can't wrap my head around.
Fame and fortune, the two of the greatest evils that you put together, the fame, the fortune, the recognition, the fact that you get to that level of invincibility where I could do whatever I want because I'm famous. I'm not going to have anything. Yeah. Wealth and power.
Victory Lap says it's wealth and power.
Yeah. And Vic, you hit it right on the nose. When you get to that level where you have wealth, you have power, and you can do whatever you want. Oh, I've got attorneys. I've got no dignity.
Yeah, no dignity. But does wealth and power humble you like he did to his brother? His brother said, "No, Shannon, you earned it. I didn't." Is that just brotherly love? Is it families? I don't get it. I just don't. I'm absolutely dumbfounded.
It humbles you if the cameras are on.
Good point.
If the cameras are on, the focus is there. It humbles you to a great point. But when the cameras are off, you're in that nightclub, you're drinking with your buddies, you're having a good time. Who knows what side's going to come out? I'll tell you this. One day when I make a lot more money and I'm able to be in that position, I don't want the fame. I want the fortune for my kids. Don't want the fame. You know what I want to do is I just want to make sure my family and friends are taken care of and donate some to Tunnel of Towers Corporation for the veterans.
Yeah. I just got one other question. And then I'll get to the chat for sure. You guys are blowing up. Thank you so much. David Yonkin and Victor Lapp. We'll definitely get to you guys. No problem. People in Hollywood, and I know you live up in that area north of that. People in Hollywood make a lot of money. They're very famous. They're always on the red carpet somewhere. They're always at Dodger Stadium watching a baseball game when it's the playoffs or the World Series. It's the place to be seen is where they are. How come you don't hear more about that side from them when they got fame and fortune? They're constantly in the spotlight as opposed to athletes.
You're talking about two different industries. Yes, it is entertainment as a whole, but there's a persona with an actor or actress or movie star that is quite different than the persona of a sports athlete.
And Victory Lap is on it. He said there's a public persona and a personal persona. There you go.
Yeah. No, and you know what? You and I, we've talked to each other both on camera here, off camera. We haven't gotten together and hung out yet, but
we will. We will.
But our personas are the same. Yes, you know what? I will tell you this, and all of you guys probably have the same thing. I know my parents did too. You know, when you get to that level of frustration and stress, and it comes out. But being of good wisdom and good knowledge and understanding human nature, you know when to be calm, be contrite, be specific with your communication, and also know that when my buddy Jack Kenna comes into the chat, we always salute him. Jack, good to see you. How you doing?
Way to go, Jack. Thanks so much for being in the chat.
It's just money corrupts people most of the time. Yeah. I know this. There was a time in my life I was making a ton of money. I was a mortgage broker, was making hundreds of thousands of dollars, and I was going out there having a great time. Did investments, did this, do that, blew through it, wasn't smart or didn't have my wisdom. And this is just life. You go through life, and if you have good financial backing and a good teacher and good lessons, you're not going to be able to handle that fame and that fortune. I know this, when my son becomes a famous baseball player one day, because he's awesome, he just turned 10 and he can crank the ball. I'll be there to teach him the ways of the world financially and everything else. Can't teach him all those other things, but hopefully he'll learn from a good other teacher.
All right, let's get to the chat real quick before I get to another extremely emotional, don't want to bring topic, but I have to. All right. No. David Yarkin is in the chat, says, it must be Friday because the two best are on. Thank you so much, David. I appreciate the compliment. I know Spence does as well. Gave you a KONA salute, so that's good. Going to the topic of Shannon Sharp, it says, Victor Lapp says, don't trust the kitty. You get in trouble, fellas.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And he ain't talking about the little kitty you put your money in. That's not what he's talking about. Although, I mean, it could be. I mean, for those under age 18, it's the little kitty you put money in. Okay.
And we don't talk about eating the kitty on this show.
You're right. Victor Lapp says it's wealth and power. Going back to Shan Sharp.
Yeah.
But I just don't understand that because, hang on.
Walmart's calling. Yes. A delivery of 3 24 packs of KONA to my place and charge it to Bronco Bill. His credit card that got declined. Charge it to Madungus. Oh, his credit card's working? All right, great. Thanks.
That's classic. That is so freaking classic. Okay. Okay. So what I don't understand about wealth and power, and of course, we're not going to know all of the other side of quote politicians and or business people. But let me ask you this. Not on a political side, but on a personal side. And guys, don't make this into a political situation because it's not. I'm just bringing a person out that is prominent, extremely wealthy, but we don't hear a dark side. Elon Musk.
Yes.
I haven't heard anything negative.
No, you don't.
Wealth and power.
Wealth, power, but he is wise beyond his age. Okay. He understands that with great wealth comes great responsibility. You know, the comics all say with great power comes great responsibility.
Okay, let's take him out of the equation.
Well, no, I think he's actually.
Walton, how about Walton?
The Walton family is in the same boat.
We don't hear anything negative.
Because they understand, I think they understand their level of fame. They're the Walton family, the founders of Walmart, the owners of the Denver Broncos. Mm-hmm. They're huge public figures. So there's a public side and a private side. The private side, they probably really protect so it doesn't get out there and expose them.
So maybe they do have some issues that just don't get out. But I'm not saying I hope you guys out there that are watching this show, seriously, and I'm saying this to you too, Spence, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I'm not trying to make this into something bigger than it is. I'm just trying to figure out where this guy's head's at, and I'm bringing in other people with fame and fortune that are not like this. That's the problem that I have.
No, well, and I've said this so many times. you get to this level of fame, fortune, invincibility, where, you know what, I am XYZ and I can do whatever I want. You know, how many times have we seen videos on YouTube of people who go, don't you know who I am? Who cares? You want to know something? I will never go and say, don't you know who I am? I am the co-host of Bronco Buzz. Yeah, so what? You know what? I have fun doing this show. I love it. I love talking with the community, but I don't let it get to my head. After this show, I'm still going to walk out there, be the best dad I can, be the best neighbor I can, be great for human society and society development. And I'm going to be that guy in this neighborhood that people are going to text and say, hey, can you come over and help move this? Or can you do that? Can't do electricity. I'm not good at that. But that's just my upbringing I had from my dad and my parents. We help people. Other people may have had different upbringings where the parents were separated. One went out and partied all the time. The other was working. Who knows? You're gonna, everybody here, everybody in the chat, Bill, me, my kids, everybody, you're gonna go through that moment in your life where you're gonna think you're invincible and you're gonna have the oh bleep moment. It's gonna happen. I've had it. I learned from it. Bill's had it. You guys out there
I've had a couple of times.
Had it.
We won't go down. We'll go down that road in the green room. How's that?
Yeah, but you learned from that moment. You understood what it meant to be Bronco Bill. You a great husband, a great father, a great supporter of your community. You learn how to do that. There are people who have fame and fortune who don't care. They're just like, oh, I've got money. Here we go. Throw it. Go do something like that.
Well, and it's also the impression, because I've done this. I've gone out to a restaurant where I knew it was going to cost me $300 or $400 if I bought the table. And I've done it. Why? Because it's a status symbol, so to speak. I mean, I could afford it, but I mean, it put a dent. I mean, this is years and years ago, you know, but put a dent in a wallet. And I'm like, you know, and then I went, I can do it now a lot easier, but I went to a ball game with my son and grandson with the Cubs and the Padres. Padres won the game 10-4. So my grandson and son were happy, but it was all good. But anyways, and we went and I bought the tickets, you know, I don't mind doing that. But what I'm saying is, you know, people do it for status. I didn't do it for status for my son and grandson, but you know what I'm saying? But years past when I would bought the whole table of dinner, that was a kind of, you know, and that's exactly what you're saying. It was a status symbol. I wanted to say, hey, I can do this.
Yeah. I grew up in the west side of Los Angeles where it's all about status. Frankly, you know what? There are others who is like, oh, we're going to LA Country Club. We're going to Beverly Hills. I didn't want to do that. You know where I wanted to go? I wanted to go to a sports bar and talk and meet real people.
Yeah.
And frankly, I don't care about the status of people. You know what? My family comes first. My kids, my wife, my friends. That's who I care about status. I don't care about, oh, I want to make sure that I'm prim and proper and meeting with high society.
And drink your tea like this.
Yes. Yes.
I'd like you to grab your beer like that and see if you can tip it. I doubt you can.
Let's go to some of the chat. Let's, start with Victory Lap at 516 there and go down from there.
515 or 516?
516.
Oh, that's Jack. He says, Vic's okay, 516. I think it's there. Says, I have a rich relative. Doesn't that help no one out? No, he said doesn't help no one out.
Yeah, you know what, Vic? I think I know friends who have that. You know, they have their own issues that they're dealing with. There are people who have warm hearts. There are people who want to help people. There are people who are just grab money and
Go on, you know, take the money and run. Yeah. It's under 11 seconds.
Yeah, Vic, they have their own issues. If they don't want to help, That's their fault. That's their loss. Let them go.
We got to get to Jack's question. All right.
Yes.
And like I said, guys, at the beginning of the show, we have topics. We will get to them, but we will also take your comments in the chat and talk about that. Jack KONA, thank you so much, Raider fan. I really do appreciate it. It's all good, guys. We welcome everybody. Says, how do you boys rate the Denver draft? A, B, C, or D, or F? What do you say? I threw that last part in.
I looked at it, and this is going to be a big topic we may have later. I give it a B, a solid B. I like what they did in their first 3 picks. The next 4 picks after that, or their first 4 picks, rounds 1, 2, and 3. 4, 6, and 7. I was like, okay, you took a punter from Florida. I mean, he's a great punter, but
hold on.
And then
hold on. Take on. I gotta hit mute real quick. Hang on.
No worries. Look, I love the drafting of Jahidi Barron. I mean, yes, he was not a top need for us, but if you got the number 1 rated quarterback and he's sitting there on the board, you grab him. I like RJ Harvey as a running back. Definitely good. Pat Bryant was kind of a shock to me. I mean, yes, they needed a receiver. I hope he fills the need. Savion Jones from LSU as an edge rusher. I like him. I was kind of somewhat surprised he fell to 3rd. Q Robinson at Alabama as an edge rusher. He had mixed feelings. I told you about punter Jeremy Crenshaw. Punters you usually don't grab in the draft, but they got him. And then Caleb Honer.
Well, Ray Guy did from the Raiders. He was drafted number 1.
Yeah,
or not number 1, but first round.
He was probably way above the rest of the class there.
Of course, that's back in the 80s too. So
now, do we want to talk about it at this point? I think there was one miss that the Broncos did not go.
We'll get into that.
So that's why I give it a B.
New person, Gerald.
Gerald,
thank you so much for chiming in, man. Appreciate it. Thank you, buddy. He says, hi, Broncos fans. Hi, Broncos fans here. Love it. You're welcome. You don't have to be a Bronco fan. You can be any fan you want. We just appreciate you being a part of the show. And like the ticker said down below, please subscribe, subscribe, and share. We really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, let's go down to
while you're doing that, Gerald,
the chat is you guys. What's that?
Yeah, Gerald, if you've got a question or you've got a topic you want us to talk about, put it right there in the chat. We want to hear from you what you think. So please chime in.
Jack Kenneth says,
shish kebab.
Didn't draft him. We'll get to that topic. I think I know who's talking about.
Yeah.
So let's see. Jack Kenneth said, laugh out loud, broke as hell, can't afford a Kona beer. You need to send him one. Can you send him one via chat? I mean, not via chat.
Really, Jack, go get you one or something, Jack. I may be broke because I got kids and everything, but go to Ralph's Supermarket. A 24-pack of Kona Big Ways are $22.99. That'll keep you happy for a while.
Wow. There you go. Victory Lap says, just realized Jack is a Raiders fan. Hell nah.
No, hey, you know what? We respect. Yeah.
Victory Lap, we love everybody here, man.
We love everybody here. You could be the most hated rival of the Raiders fan or KC fan, but
Wagoners. Chargers.
You mean your second favorite hidden team?
Moving on. Victor Lap says, what? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Victor Lap says he had the Broncos at a C, but I moved it up to a B minus.
Vic,
hang on a second. Why'd you move it up to a B minus? What was the key part that you moved it up, or why you moved it up?
Yep. And Gerald has a comment.
Yeah. Gerald says, I have friends and coworkers who are Raiders fans, Mr. KONA.
Oh, ooh. Mm. Now, Gerald, are they hardcore?
No fighting in the chat, boys.
Yeah. Now, Gerald, are they hardcore Raider fans who get all dressed up like Oakland Raider fans and want to fight, or are they Vegas fans who want to party?
You know what? I have to admire. I read somewhere, somebody told me, but I think I read somewhere where the guy with the spikes all the way down and dresses the war paint and everything, it takes him 8 hours
Yes.
to get ready. And do you realize this? He is an attorney.
Yep.
I'm like, are you kidding me? I would love to see what that guy looks like, because he doesn't look that old to be an attorney. But I mean, would you want to meet that? Can you imagine the guy gets in his car and drives to the stadium and people are driving looking at him? Oh, shit. I mean, you don't know, right? I mean, can you imagine?
He probably has a driver who takes him there.
I would hope he has a limo or something with tinted windows. You can't, because that was scary. Can you imagine a little old lady like this? Look, dude, she would have a heart attack right there in her seat. I'm thinking, I'm not trying to be mean, or I'm just serious. I mean, seriously, anybody out, have you ever looked over at somebody and they caught you off guard? I mean, I go to work every morning. Well, not every morning, but to the golf course where I do work. And it's dark 30. And, you pull up next to a car, and I'm not pulling next to them. I kind of pull a little bit back from them, just because, you don't know. These days in California, you don't know too much,
Amen.
Oh, Madungus says Bill is a Charger fan.
You know what?
Why do I bring Madungus' stuff up?
Exactly. You do not feed them. Okay. Don't feed the animals.
Yeah, it's all good. I don't care.
That's all right.
D-Rock says, Big Bill. I said, what's up, Big D-Rock? He says, Spence.
Yeah, be big D-Rock.
All right. Last comment on the past draft. It says, Victor Knapp says, I didn't like where some of the players were drafted, but I believe that those players panned out. It's a good pick. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, we got corrected. It's pronounced Jarrell. Jarrell. That's how I say it. Am I saying it correctly, Mr. Ross? Jarrell. Okay, great.
Hang on.
We love to be corrected when we're wrong.
Yeah, Jarrell.
Wow.
Jarrell. Ooh, that comes
There
out
you
a lot smooth.
D-Rock is jumping the gun. We're going to bring that topic in. Let's bring it in. Okay. Madungus came in with something kind of serious. Wow. If we are being honest, though, go ahead and read it, Spence.
If we're being honest, though, hats off to the Raiders, Cowboys, and Browns fans. Your team have been shish kebab for 30 plus years, and you still support them.
I thought that was a positive comment. Obviously, I only read the first part. Madungus.
Oh, hey, Judson. Welcome to the show, Judson.
Judson Cake. Nice to see you. Haven't seen you ever. Thank you so much for joining us. Tampa can have one hit Tez. We'll get into that topic. I promise you we'll get in that topic. But I got
maybe we get into it now since people have been bringing it up.
All right.
Yeah, people are mentioning it.
I gotta get into the hot topic for sure.
We'll get into that one.
All right, let me go through my notes. As you guys saw, it was down the list. All right, now I'm back semi together to get my. Bear with me, guys. This is what happens when you're live, and you have chat. People bring up topics that you have, but here we go. Ready?
Bring it on.
Here it is. The Denver Broncos had multiple opportunities to draft a former Oregon Ducks wide receiver who not only played with Bo Nix, but is also his, quote, brother. The reason why I say quote is because he was like adopted by his parents.
Yeah.
That person is Tez Johnson. Instead, Johnson was drafted by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Really? I only say really because, anyway, here's the question. Will the Broncos regret not taking Johnson knowing the chemistry both he and Bo Nix had?
You know what? I have struggled with this for the past month. And here's why. You had a great thing at Oregon. You had an amazing relationship. You built that up. But now you moved on. Mm-hmm. Bo came to the NFL and has established a new relationship. Tez had one more year at Oregon. He's now in the NFL. He's with Tampa Bay. Bo Nix has developed a great relationship and bond with Courtland Sutton. Mm-hmm. So the question I have, and this is where I go ethically on both sides, is if you bring Tez Johnson in, does that help the existing relationship or does that hurt and push Sutton away? I see both sides of that. I understand bringing Tez Johnson in, if he would be a number 2 or a number 3 receiver, would be great. It would help with that instantaneously. But would Courtland Sutton feel like he's being pushed out?
Well, we already have a wide receiver that was with Oregon. In Oregon with Bo Nix. Or is it tight end? I know it's a receiver. God, I can't. If Madunga's still in the chat, so, please help me out. But yeah, he's already got that. But you're right. Courtland Sutton did say, "Hey, if I'm not number 1," and remember that? And he was talking about holding out. So maybe you're right. Maybe you're on to something. Troy Franklin. There it is. There it is. Troy Franklin.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking.
I just don't want to blow up that relationship that Bo Nix and Courtland Sutton have. Now, I know Madungas just said that I think Sutton gets traded this year. I don't think he does either. He does not.
I'll bring it up so that others can see it from other formats.
At the same time, the Broncos have all the potential going up. All the maneuvers going up. It seems like every decision they're making is a positive culture developing, helping the chemistry of the team. Would I love to see Tez Johnson here? I think it would help, but there's possible.
Well, we got a receiver. Didn't we get a receiver from
Illinois? Drafted in the 3rd round, Pat Bryant.
Yeah, I like that pick. I really do like that pick.
You know what? I came to this thought late last night when I couldn't sleep and I'm playing my video poker game. You had a great thing at Oregon. You've developed. It's time to move on and develop other things. I wish Tez Johnson the best. I honestly hope this. He comes in, he blows away everybody at Tampa Bay, becomes a great receiver, makes a career for himself. And then
comes to Denver and retires as a Bronco.
That could help. But I think and honestly, I look at this as a chemistry cultural thing. You bring him in, does that create animosity with all the receivers, knowing that there's a Pat? I know. And that is why.
But here's the thing that bothers me. They had the opportunity. What was it about Denver brass that took Troy, like I just said, Troy Franklin a couple years ago, or last year, whenever it was, I don't know, days go by like freaking water down the sink so fast when you get older. Not that I'm that old, but I'm just saying, but my thought is, what was it about him? Some people say he wasn't tall enough. Well, neither was a lot of receivers. Charlie Joyner wasn't that tall. Neither was Brandon Stokely. So, and neither was the quarterback Boston College, Doug Flutie.
Yeah.
They all were in the NFL. What was it about Ted Johnson that the Broncos didn't want? That's my question.
You could make the argument, well, he's undersized, he might get beat up, anything like that. I honestly, my opinion is I don't think you want to mess up the chemistry and the culture that is building right now with Sutton as the lead.
But
and
doesn't
Johnson
that make
comes in, and could it ruin that relationship? You want to know there's great arguments for anything and everything, but at the same time, would bringing Tez Johnson in as a 4th, 5th, 6th round draft pick benefit the Broncos long term?
But doesn't that tell you that if that's the case, that Courtland Sutton would get butthurt? Doesn't that tell you that Courtland Sutton's still immature at this age and this part of his career?
But here's the thing. We're going up, and you know what, Judson, you make a great point. Tez Johnson's came in at 156 pounds. He might get beaten up here in the NFL. Do you want to take that risk? Chemistry would be amazing, but are you going to take this risk at the higher level with someone who's undersized?
But you don't think that the Broncos training staff could build him up? You hear about it all the time where a guy came in at 175 and we brought him up to 210 or 195.
You want to know something? I defer to the Broncos general manager and interior staff. I bet you anything that Coach Payton went to Bo Nix.
There you go.
Probably had this conversation.
Keith O'Donnell, thank you so much for being in chat. I saw you earlier. I brought it up because that's just what Spence said. Keith O'Donnell says, I trust the team who knows best and know a hell of a lot more about the players than I do.
Yeah, exactly. There is some, let's just say this, Bronco Nation.
No, Broncos country. It's Raiders
Broncos
Nation.
Country, sorry.
Mike, I'm going to put him on hold. Can you get me somebody else for next week? Thank you very much.
Broncos country, sorry.
It's all good, dude.
No, I know that. But at the same time, every maneuver this team seems to be doing, from a business to a player management to a cultural to everything, seems to be positive right now. And would I love, as a fan and as someone who knows the backstory, would I love to see Tez Johnson here? Absolutely. Does that help the chemistry of the team move forward to get you to a Super Bowl?
Yeah,
that's the business decision you have to look at. And
we have a feud. We have a feud going on in the chat.
Oh, I know. It's a great one.
Yeah, it is good, but I'm not going to bring up a whole bunch of stuff. But Mohammed Badri in the chat, he said, Madonna is disturbing the peace as usual.
Well, you know what? My nickname is the ultimate foe. My good friend Brian gave that to me back in the day when I was just on fire one day. Madungus is our ultimate foe. He's there to poke us, prod us, challenge us, keep us on our toes. Like, he's going to be there with the little, when that big sign that says "Don't feed the bears," Madungus, he's going to feed the bears. He's trying to feed us to get us off our game.
Of course. Speaking of game.
Yes. Oh.
This, guys, you thought last week was tough bringing the Shannon Sharp one?
Oh, this one's brutal.
Taking a deep breath, guys. I've got two uniforms, two jerseys in my closet that I've seen, or that I should say, I know you've seen me wear them when we do the Broncos breakdown or the show, formerly known as Broncos Breakdown, which is now Broncos Buzz. This one involves my favorite of all time, my co-favorite of all time. My other co-favorite is Terrell Davis. This one happens to wore number 7 for the Denver Broncos. This one hurts. There's a lot of bad stuff about this. I don't like bringing it. This one hurts more than last week. But I got to do it. I got to do it, guys. It's all over sports everywhere. If you haven't heard all the details, you're going to hear a lot of it right now. Here we go. Former Broncos legend John Elway's former agent and longtime friend Jeff Spurbeck died last Sunday after a golf cart accident. Put it in quotes because of other issues. John Elway and the others were coming back from a stagecoach festival in the Palm Springs area. Now, if you guys don't know where Palm Springs is, it's in Southern California. It's east of the LA area, down the Interstate 10, about what, Spence, 2 hours from LA?
2.5 hours, depends on traffic.
Well, everything depends on traffic in LA.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, going back to this. Elway is said to be devastated. Oh, no doubt. Hang on. Elway has since hired a prominent Denver attorney.
Yep.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Whoa.
Oh, it gets better.
Back up. It was a cart accident. Or was it? Hold on. TMZ, who doesn't get anything wrong. I mean, they pride themselves more than we do on being accurate. TMZ has acquired a photo of John drinking something from a styrofoam cup 2 hours before the accident. Now, if you guys haven't heard, let me preface this really quick. I'm gonna turn it over, not spit it. I'm gonna turn it over to Spence to fill it in. Stagecoach Festival happens every April in Southern California, just outside the LA area in Riverside County. Okay. Now, John Elway owns a home in a place called La Quinta, which is outside of Palm Springs, right next to it. He owns several several golf carts that have 2 front seats and 2 back seats that face your back is against the front. And you're looking at the back. Okay. They went to this festival. It's on public streets. It's legally to be on there. From what I understand, it's got license plates, headlights, all that. Anyways, they went there, had a good time. On the way back, something happened. I'm not saying that Elway was intoxicated, but I'm also saying he wasn't. I don't know. Here's an interesting point, and then Spence will turn to you. Interesting point. The police were never informed about the incident that went to the fire department and the ambulance to pick up Mr. Spurbeck, who had massive head trauma that was placed on life support immediately when they got to him to the hospital because it didn't have any brain function. But anyways, going on, the police were not sent to investigate until 2 days later.
Yep.
The witnesses everybody's vanished. What's your thoughts, Spence? I know what mine are. I'll follow up after you.
You know what? I'm really struggling with this one because I knew John Elway when I lived in the Palm Desert area, which is a part of Palm Springs, and there's a popular sports bar in the Indian Wells, La Quinta area where I ran into John Elway a few times. Big hand. To shake that hand, it's monstrous. Boy, he is going through something that I hope none of us ever have to go through, but for being kind of responsible for the death of your best friend. And there's going to be investigations. There's going to be things that are going to come out right now. There's a level of devastation that we never want to see upon anybody having some kind of responsibility for the loss of life. And stuff's going to come out, whether he was drinking or not, whether he was driving out of control or not, or we don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know. But something happened. and they didn't take a DUI test. They didn't do anything. The police didn't get any. We don't know. And the hardest thing is that John Elway is going to have to live with this guilt for the rest of his life.
Mm-hmm.
And
not only that, but there were two cars, like I mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
What I've gathered from multiple sources, I got a negative one. I not bring it up. Spence knows about it. I'm not bringing it up.
Yeah,
it was not trustworthy. Anyways, the sources I've got all this information from was John Elway was driving a golf cart in front of the women behind. His son was in his passenger seat. He had a business partner in the back seat along with Spurbeck. Something happened and Spurbeck fell out. Intoxicated, I'm not going there. Lost his balance, I'm not going there. Something happened. The sad part, obviously, is that he was injured and he passed away. The other part is the cart behind were the wives of those in the cart in front. They saw it happen. And
they saw it happen.
That's gut-wrenching. That's absolutely gut-wrenching.
And the hardest thing is you want this. I honestly, I want this story to go away and for life to move on.
Both of them, Shannon Sharp and this one.
But when is it going to come out that the ladies behind the cart, one of them is going to say something that is going to blow this all up? You want to know something? We don't know what happened. John Elway could have been driving safely, and he wanted to get out the back and play. We don't know, and honestly, we're never going to know. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't want to know, because this is John Elway's best friend, closest friend, compadre.
Now, a lot of people, to reiterate, I just happened to think of this because I read it. I didn't put it in my notes because I did it. I got it right before we went in the green room. John Elway's last living sister, because he lost Jenna, his twin, in 2002. His last living sister, I can't remember her name because I didn't write down my notes, passed away last month. They said John Elway has still been in mourning since she passed away a month ago. And a lot of people are saying, not me, I'm just saying, a lot of people are saying, could this have been attributed to what happened because he overindulged? I'm not going there.
No.
But people are saying that. I'm just saying it's ironic in a sad way that his sister passed away a month ago and then this happens.
And honestly, we're responsible people here, and I don't want to point fingers and do this and do that and
Right. I don't either.
It is an unfortunate situation. I hope the truth doesn't come out that someone did something really malicious. Let's just respect the families, respect the sorrow, and just respect Elway and just be like, oh my God, I hope he wasn't 100% responsible for what happened. And we go on from there.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Let's hope.
Let's just root for the best, move on. I don't want to point a finger and just come out here and say, no. It is a sad situation. Let the families grieve. Time will tell.
Madungus brings up a comment.
No, you brought someone else.
Oh, Gregory Miller. Nice to have you, man. We haven't seen you before either. He says, I'm going to unsubscribe from this. You are okay. Well, you can unsubscribe. It's okay.
That's your choice.
Yeah.
Thank you for being a part of the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Madungus says, if Elway had done something wrong, they would have done a breathalyzer. Nope. The cops were not there at all. It was only the fire department and only the ambulance. No police were called because, in my understanding, it was on a street that went into the community, in a gated community.
It was it was a private street owned by the community. It wasn't a public street. So
so they just brought in well, there you go. Is that a whole nother issue? Anyways,
I don't want to know.
Yeah. And it says they would have done a breathalyzer and started building a case against him. The way it sounds is his friend fell out and hit his head, just an accident, and it sucks. Well,
yeah,
that's what we're hoping, is it was just an accident. That's what we're hoping.
Hey, you and I, we've got to do something positive. Guess what I just found out right now?
What's that?
I want you to wave to Colorado Boy Brewery in Montrose, because we are live in the bar with my dad and everybody in there. So thank you guys. Thank you guys.
Hey, man, thanks so much. I don't put my hat back on, but hey, you know.
And a huge shout out to my dad, Jay, and my mom, Susan. Everybody.
Man, honored.
Drinks are on my mom. No.
Honored. Hey, seriously.
Hey, Colorado
Boy
Boy
bottom
Brewery.
of my heart.
I've been there before in Montrose, but you guys are amazing. Love all the beers you have on tap. Thank you so much for having the show on one of the TV screens up there. We really appreciate it.
Wow. Thank you, guys. It means a lot. It really does. It means a lot. Wow. we made it on prime time, I guess. Whatever.
No, you know what? You got to say thank you to my dad. Say thank you, Jay.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you so much. Honestly, thank you so much. It's I don't even know. I don't know what to say. I really don't. Just gratitude, absolute gratitude. Thank you so much. And thank you for having a fantastic son who wanted to be on the show.
Hey, I'm only a reflection of my dad's greatness, so that's a good thing.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's get into some different stuff. Let's leave that negative stuff alone. Although this is negative, but in a way, it's kind of funny. But I want to get your take on this. Atlanta Falcons defensive coordinator Jeff Ulrich's son, Jax, admitted that he pranked Shedeur Sanders on the night of the NFL draft and apologized to the Sanders family. The Falcons, this is interesting though, the Falcons will not take any action against their defensive coordinator. Why not? It was a prank that could have gone drastically wrong, dude. This could have gone extremely wrong. And then just to say, oh, I'm sorry, I apologize, that's okay?
You know what? Kids will be kids. Teenagers will be teenagers.
Yeah, but how does he get the number? Did he crack his dad's phone? Did he say,
yes, he did.
You think so?
Oh no, my son knows the passcode on my phone. You know, kids will get in. It's like, hey.
Well, yeah, they're a lot smarter than we are. That's for sure.
Sanders falling, I am not surprised. I read an interesting article. Won't say the team, but the head coach and the general manager had Sanders there. They did a play for him called SD30, and they told everything out. Here's what we do. They came back to him and said, "Okay, what's the name of the play?" And he went, "I don't know." That is one of the reasons he dropped. And
wow,
you want to know something? Shedeur Sanders. Now I understand it. He was all hype. I said on the show last week, if you watched some of his games where he played against some of the upper caliber teams, he performed horribly. Lower caliber teams, yeah, he took advantage of it. This kid doing that prank, you know what? There's a part of me that wants to commend him. Like, you know what? Thinking,
dude, that takes some, that takes some,
that takes guts and everything like that. And on the surface, it's pretty funny to a point, but in the human nature aspect, it's pretty malicious.
Pretty brazen. Because you know what? Obviously, he didn't think, you know what, my dad could get fired for this.
Exactly.
I mean, do you not? Again, it goes back, Spence, to what we were talking about, Shannon Sharp and all. We're not going back down that road again. Guys, want to hear what we said, go back to the beginning of the show. But what I'm saying is, I know these kids. The kids don't think about the ramifications, the ripple effect of dropping a stone in a pond and watching the ripples go everywhere. They don't get it. But you got to think that way, man, especially when you're a high profile. My dad was a minister, and my dad was a minister for 55 years. I'm a preacher's kid, or PK is what we're called. And I had to know what not to do when my dad was in a meeting or in a any situation. I was always in a suit and tie, always. In fact, I love suit and tie because I was so used to it. I still love them. I went to a wedding, my niece's wedding 2 weeks ago. I was in a suit. I loved it. Loved it. I felt comfortable. I really did feel comfortable. But anyways, that being said, you got to know what to do and what not to do because of who you can affect. I could have affected my dad many times if I had to do what I was supposed to do. Anyways, I just don't get it. But
you know what? Kudos to
I know it's funny. It really is.
It's fun. You know what? Funny. You know why it's funny is the level of
because no one got hurt. Because no one really got hurt.
No one really got hurt. The level of arrogance that the Sanders family has.
Oh, that's true too.
And playing on that. It's one of those
drafted right now. Holy cool! Holy smoke!
I'm getting drafted by New Orleans. Oh yeah. I'm being drafted by New Orleans. Oh, I'm not. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, D-Rock does put a good point.
Interesting.
No. I'm sorry. I didn't allude to this. D-Rock, you put out a good point. I did not include that in my notes. I apologize. Glad you brought it up. Yes. The Falcons are being fined $250,000 and the DC $100,000 for that prank. That's coming from the NFL. What I read is that the Falcons are not going to discipline him. The NFL did. Yes. $250,000 to the Falcons, $100,000 to the defensive coordinator.
Now
all because his son decided to be stupid.
Now his son's grounded for a while.
I would hope so. I mean, how old's the son? 12?
No, he was a teenager. I don't remember the exact age. He was a teenager.
I love what Judson says. Nobody wants to deal with Dion. No kidding. No. Nobody wants. I heard something that the Cleveland Browns are thinking about trading him.
No, I did too.
Oh yeah, you read that, right? They're thinking about trading him.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Because Daddy wants to be on the field, on the
Bingo.
sideline. He wants to be on the sideline. I want to coach my son. Yeah, no, you're not a Falcons coach. I mean a Browns coach. Get that out of here. I said Falcons.
Browns coach. You are the Colorado Buffalo coach. Focus on that. Let your son go be a man and grow up and develop. And you know what? Good luck to Shooter Sanders. But after I read that article about him not knowing the play that was told to him 5 minutes earlier.
Yeah. No good. No good, senor. Nope.
Yep.
He said D-Rock says the DC's coordinator's son is 21. Well, he's a very immature 21. I mean, again, I know you mentioned hundreds of times, we've all done crazy stuff in our 20s. I did a lot of stuff I don't even want to talk about. My wife knows, but not too many others. But I've shared a couple incidents on past shows. But in any case, but
no,
yeah,
Judson, no, Dion will not be the next Browns head coach. No,
Judson, next thing, Dion. Well, no. I think I understand what he's saying. He's not saying he's going to be. He's thinking that's probably what he wants to be because his son's.
Yeah, well, of course, yeah.
That's what he
because
wants. Because
he's prime time.
Yeah. And I'm the Browns head coach, and I'm my son's head coach. And Look at Justin said, "Hey, wait and see." You never know. You don't know.
You want to know something?
Nobody knows.
Here's the thing about
wouldn't surprise me being Cleveland.
He sells tickets.
Oh, no doubt. Look what happened when he went to Colorado. The place sold out the first year they were there.
Exactly.
Or he was there, I should say. Okay. Got 2. I know you guys are happy. Only 2 left.
You mean my wife's happy?
Yeah. And you're out of the doghouse. Speaking of the Browns,
yeah.
So we're an hour and 5 into the show, guys. It's been fantastic. You guys have been great in the chat. You've been great watching. Really do appreciate it. As always, you are the backbone of Broncos Buzz. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be doing this. I mean, if we would, it wouldn't be fun, guaranteed. Absolutely. All right, last 2 topics this one is a record set by a professional team in Colorado. Avalanche?
Nope.
The other team that's playing. The Colorado Rockies have set a major league record for the month of April. After an 8-2 loss last Tuesday, they saw their April record slip to 5 wins and 25 losses. The Rockies are on pace to lose 135 games, which is 14 more losses than last year's worst team ever, the Chicago White Sox, with 121 losses. Spence, answer me this question. How in heaven's name can the Rockies be this bad? It's a twofold question. Hang on. Or twofold possible answer. Is it the stadium too large being in altitude, but Arizona's in altitude as well? Or is it ownership specifically and only?
Ownership, because they lied to Arenado. There was I am a Rockies fan. I have been a Rockies fan
I
since
like the Rockies. I'm just
love the Rockies. But they lied to Arenado when they signed him to a long-term extension. And ever since that time, the Rockies franchise has gone from here being on the precipice of being a playoff dominating team and competing with the Dodgers.
1984, right? 1984? What? No, not 84. When did the Rockies go to the World Series? Or the playoffs? I mean, after they beat the Padres.
2008.
Oh, 2008. Okay.
Against the
84.
Boston Red
I'm
Sox.
sorry. 84 was. Why did I bring that one up? That was
84 was when you were
the Cubs and the Padres.
84 was when you turned 100.
Oh, that's what it was. No, 84 was the meltdown. That was back when it was a best of 5. And the Cubs were up over the Padres 2-0. They had the last 3 games were in San Diego, and we lost all 3. I'm like, how's that?
Yeah.
Anyway,
no,
but okay.
I'll tell you this: the Rockies franchise is your dictionary definition of a toxic organization, top to bottom. And I feel bad for a lot of the players. I watch their games, and it's just, it takes some getting used to with Spence.
Alex Smith brought this up, but I'm trying to figure out what he's talking about. It takes some getting used to with Spence on the show. NGO, what's that mean?
Going to love?
But no reason. Okay, Alex, now you brought this up, because other people maybe have been wondering. I have always done Broncos breakdown by myself, solo. Because that's all I knew. That's all I did. But then I thought, you know what? A lot of these shows, 99% of the shows that you watch on TV, news has more than one anchor. Sports has multiple people on a panel. Announcers have an announcer and a commentator, 2 people. Not too many. Only Vince Scully could pull off a solo. And I'm not saying I'm not Vince Scully. That's not anywhere close to what I'm saying. So I thought, okay, Spence is knowledgeable. He's got great insight. He's the opposite of me. I'm emotional, I'm passionate, I get into it. He's more calm, but he can get passionate, but he's more calm. He in my opinion, he balances out the show. It's not just one side, all dominant in your face, kind of thing. From me, it balances it out. That's why I brought Spence on, because the chemistry I feel is solid. I feel we accommodate each other fantastically, and that's the reason why I brought him on. So Spence is not an anchor. He's an asset, and I appreciate him being on the show. And that's the main reason there, Alex. That's why he's on the show. If it's tough getting used to, I can understand that, because you had me solo for 3 years, but Spence to me is an absolute asset, and I couldn't be happier than having Spence on the show. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Don't be crying, dude. It's okay.
No, and Alex, look, let's look at it this way. Change is good. And I'm appreciative to Bill and Madungus for giving me this opportunity to come on the show and be a part of this. And yes, change takes a little getting used to, but I've had a lot of fun doing this. Bill and I talk a lot during the week. We share the same values and the same principles, and we love having discussions. And yeah, there are some things we're going to disagree about. There's some things that you may not be used to. And we appreciate you hanging out with our show and being a part of this. And you want to know something, Alex? Speak up more. We want to hear your opinions. We want to hear your thoughts, good, bad, indifferent. I mean, we just heard from some guy who wanted to unsubscribe us. Great. Thank you for commenting on the show. We appreciate it.
Yeah, at least he was in the show, right? At least he was watching. Let's see. Justin Cake says, sorry, I'm in Maine. So other than Bronco, the Celtics and Red Sox, it's okay. We welcome everybody. We welcome everybody's favorite teams. It doesn't have to be football, basketball, baseball, hockey, whatever it is. It could be tennis. It could be racquetball. It could be whatever. Horse racing. Oh, by the way, Kentucky Derby is this weekend. Are you watching that?
I've got a pick.
Okay, we got to hear that at the end. You don't have to say who it is or how much money you put on, but we like to hear what your thoughts are. You can put them in any weird order. But anyways, so we welcome everybody. I mean, this is a show for you guys. It's not for us to get up here every Friday and make it about us. You know, we bring the topics, we bring our comments, we bring our emotions and passions and thoughts and whatnot, but it's about you guys. It really is about you guys. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be doing this. Why would we do it? To talk to ourselves? We can do that on the phone. You guys are the backbone. You're the backbone, and we love it, man. We love it so much. Thanks so much. Justin Cake says, yup, I keep track of Patriots, but love Broncos since Elway era. Okay. That being said, has your not if I don't want to say affection, has your thought process about Elway changed since the incident in Palm Springs? That's all I want to know. For lack of a better word, I couldn't think of the word I wanted, but
and I just got my hand slapped by one of my cousins who's a
Victory laps and Spence is cool. What's he crying about?
I'm crying about the love that I'm getting from the community. So thank you guys.
That's just great, dude. I love it.
But I just got my hand slapped by one of my buddies up in Colorado. He's like, dude, we played in 2007. You must have been on a. No, I can't repeat any of that. I said it was 2008. The Rockies played in the World Series in 2007. So
Yep. And they played, I forgot. Oh, they played Boston. Oh, they got swept.
Well, yeah, you want to know something? The Rockies were on fire. They had swept, let's see, they had swept the Padres, they had swept the Diamondbacks, and they had to sit around.
Well, that Padre, that winning run at home plate, do you still think he was safe?
Yes, he was safe. He got the tiny corner of the base.
He got the corner of the umpire. That's what he got.
No, he
was safe. He was safe.
He got the black part, not the white, the black part of the base. But they had to sit around for 8 days waiting for Boston to finish up their series, and that was it. They had no chance after that.
Going back to what I asked about Judson, about what he thought about Elway, he says he's still a great player, probably a bad decision. Excuse me, but without facts, I can't judge. We agree.
We agree. It's hard. You don't want to take a position in this because someone of very close relationship to them passed away.
Victor Laugh follows up by saying, just glad he's not drafted for the Broncos anymore.
Yeah, jeez.
But you know what? Good point.
Good point. Very good point.
Although he did draft Von Miller. Von Miller was amazing.
Yeah, but look at the quarterbacks he drafted.
Because he tried to draft a clone of himself.
No, he
tall,
did not.
Strong arm. Strong arm was Oswald. Oswald did have a strong arm.
Oswald was great from the neck down. From the neck up, no.
How about Andrew Luck? Not Andrew Luck. I mean Drew Lock.
No, thank you.
Drew Lock. But he drafted him.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I didn't like either one of them. Although Osweiler was very significant in the 2015 Super Bowl championship.
Yeah, he
won 2015 seed 2016 too, because he filled in and won those games in Chicago and beat the Patriots. So
yeah, he did. But then he thought, oh, I'm bigger than the Broncos, so I'm going to go to Houston, where he went. Ooh.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. All right, 1 minute, 1 hour and 16 minutes into the show, guys. You have been amazing. Being in the chat and also being live watching. Really do appreciate it. We are at the last topic. This is not going to sit well with KONA Spence, but I'm sorry. The Colorado Avalanche have forced Game 7 this Saturday, while I'm wearing the hat, at Dallas, which is going to be tough, after a 7-4 win last night in Denver. Gabriel Landeskog is back. He scored a goal. McKenna was on fire. McCarr was on fire. Natchez, the whole team was electric. Can they keep that momentum going into Dallas tomorrow night at 5, an earlier start, 5 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. in Dallas? Can they keep that fire up? I don't know. The reason why I said KONA Spence is not going to be happy about this is big because, unfortunately, Mudungus Creevy jinxed him several days ago when the Kings were up 2-0, and he said that it's not over. And the Kings were eliminated last night in Edmonton. Sorry, KONA.
No, you know what? I'm a huge Kings fan, but I mean, they had a lead in every single game, and they went to a prevent defense. I mean, they were up by 3 goals in Edmonton and went to a prevent defense and lost. Game 4, they were up 3-1 with 13 minutes left to go in the third period and went to a prevent defense in hockey. You cannot do that. Goal, goal, goal. Game 5, they came out. They were sloppy. They had a lead again, played prevent defense, gave up goals. That was it. Last night, they had a lead. They were up early. Want to know honestly, I threw a few bucks on Edmonton because I knew it was going to happen. I mean,
and they call me a Charger fan.
Hey, you know what? I'm a savvy wager. Okay.
Hey,
of course,
if you put your money where your mouth is, right? And your mouth was, hey, Edmonton's going to win this thing.
I put my money where my honey's purse is. That's not.
Almost got in trouble with that one. Almost didn't.
I'm in trouble 24/7.
Yeah. All right. Now wrap your head around the Avalanche real quick. I know you're a Kings fan, but wrap your head around the Avalanche real quick. Game 7 in Dallas. What you've seen from the Avalanche and what you've seen from the Dallas Stars. do the Colorado Avalanche have and I know they have a legitimate chance to win, but is it realistically feasible that they win in Dallas in Game 7? Now, hang on before I answer that. The head coach of the Dallas Stars has never lost a Game 7.
Thank you. I was going to bring up that point, but no. You know what? Let's go back to Game 1, where Colorado was on fire all over the place, skating left, right. They had control of the game, and they won. Ever since then, they have not really had, quote, control of a game. Yes, they've won a few other games.
They've trailed every game they've won since Game 1.
No, Game 1, even though they gave up, they were down. They were controlling the pace and they were controlling the flow of the game. Since then, Dallas has controlled the flow every game since then.
Is Gabriel Landeskog's coming back a distraction to the players? In my opinion, yes, because they had a chemistry. Makar and McKinnon had a chemistry. Now you bring back Landeskog, who McKinnon knows well, and Landeskog likes to clog up the middle. You know, kind of like a that idiot that went to Dallas. I can't stand Mikko Rantanen. He used to clog up the middle, and now Landeskog kind of goes that direction. So I'm wondering if the chemistry between McKinnon and Makar have shifted to McKinnon and Landeskog with Makar on the outside looking in, because Makar's not getting that many looks like he used to get from McKinnon.
I defer to you on that one. I don't follow the Quebec Nordiques. I mean the Avalanche as much.
Madungus, I need a new host, please. Please. Anyways, no. Okay, so let me in my opinion, yes. The chemistry was Landeskog there in Game 2, 3, and 4? No, he wasn't. But he was in the wings because he was on the Colorado Eagles. Speaking of wings with the Eagles, right? I like that.
There you go.
He was on the Colorado Eagles, and they were monitoring him. And you know the players have to know he's coming back. He wants to come back. Was that a diversion? In my opinion, yes. Last night's game was refocused. Last night's game was drastically refocused. Now, yes, the Avalanche had a 2-0 lead. Then it was tied 2-2. Then they trailed 3-2, tied 3-3, trailed 4-3, tied 4-4, and then went on and won it 7-4. Okay?
Bang, bang, bang.
The chemistry is back. Is it back far enough to win tomorrow night in hostile territory? Or is it back for next year? That's the question that I can't answer. Only it will be answered tomorrow night beginning at 5:00 p.m. Pacific time. That's going to be a heck of a game.
I will say this. If the Avalanche go back to the attacking style we saw in Game 1, where they were the aggressors the entire game, then they've got a chance. If they start sitting back, which we saw a lot during Games 2, 3, 4, and even 5.
4 to 5, yeah. About halfway. Yeah, all of 5. Yeah, because they lost that game.
Yeah. So if it comes to that. Unfortunately,
it's going to come down to heart. It's going to come down to heart. And I'm hoping Landeskog gets up in front of his teammates and says, guys, this is Game 7. We've been here before. Whatever he says, and make it a point to let everybody know from him how grateful he is to be back, how much he wants to move on. He doesn't want to be a 3 games with him and done. He wants it to keep going. And I'm hoping that energy, if he does say anything, that energy translates into the production. Because if it doesn't, and the crowd in Dallas start chanting that stupid freaking chant that they do, I hate it. Yeah. But when they do, I just want the Avalanche to come out with nothing to lose. Leave everything on the ice. Give it everything you got. This is, in my opinion, I would treat it as Game 7 of a Stanley Cup. That's how badly I want this game.
But you got to play a 60-minute game. I mean,
True.
my Kings last night played only 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Or no, played only 10 minutes. And then after that, that was it. But, you know, I had told you I wanted to see the Avalanche and the Kings in the Western Conference Finals.
Mm-hmm.
Go Lanch. Definitely don't want to see the Dallas Stars, even though my buddy Tom's a huge Dallas Stars fan. Tom, I don't know if you're watching yet tonight, but
well, he just unsubscribed to you. No, just kidding.
Add it to the list.
Oh man, guys, it's been a fun show. We've enjoyed it. On that note of Spence being what's it called? When they what's the new thing now when they don't pay attention to you, they call you
lackadaisical.
Yeah, I forget what it is. No,
who can? It's some young kid thing.
Yeah, it's a new kid thing. But anyways, we appreciate each and every one of you in the chat. Thank you so much. I always turn over to Spence to run down the list of the names, and then we'll close up the show. You guys have been amazing. It's almost been an hour and a half. You guys are fantastic. It's the football NFL off season. We're after the draft. We're before the OTAs. So we have a lot of different topics that come up, but we really do appreciate you guys bringing your thoughts and comments in the chat. Spence, go ahead and read them down, bud.
Yeah, Victory Lap, thank you for your comments. Really loved your insight tonight, so really do appreciate it. David Yonkin, it must be Friday, so hopefully you're enjoying your happy hour. We thank you so much for being a part of the show. Jack Kenna, Jack, I saw you wearing that San Jose Shark hat. Looked good. You look sharp. Thank you very much for being Jarrell Ross. I hope I said it correctly. Jarrell, thank you very much for being a part of the show up there in New England with your Celtics and your Red Sox. Thank you for being a part of the show tonight. Really appreciate your feedback. I can't pronounce it. He must be a Charger fan. D-Rod, thank you so
Raider
much.
Fan. Remember? Raider fan.
Oh, Raider fan. D-Rod, thank you so much for your feedback and your comments tonight. Really do appreciate it. Judson Cake, thank you so much for your comments. Really appreciate you being a part of the show. Keith, thank you for your comments. Really appreciate you being a part of the show. Definitely loved your comments tonight. Love those fighting words and everything. About Troy Franklin and everything else. Mohammed didn't get to give you a shout out. Mohammed, thank you for being a part of the show tonight. Really do appreciate it. And I think, Dad, I hope you guys had a great time up there at Colorado Boy Brewery and having the show on one of the TVs. I forgot the owner's name, but we'll give him a shout out next week. But thank you for having us on one of the TVs tonight. Appreciate everything. Judson Cake, thank you so much for your comments. Appreciate your feedback and your input. And have a good night, everybody. Oh, Greg Miller, thank you very much. I know you unsubscribed, but thank you for being a part of the show, listening in to us. Hey, any comment, good or bad, it's still great to have a part of this show. We really appreciate it. Alex, I know it's a new format. I know it's a new system. I know it's a new thing. It's going to take some getting used to. Guess what? I had to get used to doing this.
Give it a chance.
Give it a chance.
You'll come around.
And I'll tell you this, Alex, if you're still frustrated with it, I will take a Friday off and you can have Bill doing the show by himself. Because I know my wife and my kids need me to go in 20 different
and hear
directions.
all my rant and raving and all that kind of nonsense is going on. Yeah. Well, he gets that.
Hey guys,
okay, so I'm leaving Judson's Cake. Judson Cake's comment up and says, "Have a nice night, everyone." Why? Because that's what we're going to end the show with, guys. Everybody out there, thank you so much once again. Really do appreciate everything that Spence said about the guys in the comments. Really do appreciate each and every week. You guys don't have to do it, but we appreciate that you do. You want to bring somebody in?
Yeah, someone wanted to say good night to everybody in the community.
Good night.
Anna, how you doing? Good night.
Great. How are you?
Good, great, doing great.
Good night.
You're looking good as always. You still putting
Thank
up with
you.
this crazy guy?
I'm putting up with this crazy guy.
I know he heard you got a house full of people.
I do. I always do. I'm cooking for everybody.
Ooh, what are you cooking?
Just some hot wings. I've got some wings going, a salad, some rice.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for being part of the
All right,
show.
we'll see ya. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
All right.
Good night.